I'll go ahead and call this meeting to order at 3:05 on Tuesday, February 13th of the West Covina Traffic Committee. We can go ahead and start with introductions. I'm Brian Cervantes with the Engineering Division. Allison?
I'm Allison Richter with the Engineering Traffic Division.
Jana Robbins with Traffic Division.
And I'm Maria Fraser with the Engineering Division.
Perfect. And then we'll go ahead and hop into our next item, which is the Traffic Committee items taken to the previous Traffic Committee meeting. So these were items brought in the January 2024 meeting, which was the traffic review of 236 South Barranca Avenue and the traffic review of 1440 Queen Summit Drive. Both these items were unanimously approved and will be taken to council for final approval and installation. Next, we'll move on to our third item, which is the new Traffic Committee items. And the first is going to be the traffic review of Durness Street between Sunset Avenue and California Avenue. So for this request, the resident is requesting a traffic review of existing conditions along the segment of Durness Street between Sunset Avenue and California Avenue. The resident reported that vehicles tend to drive over the speed limit in this area and do not stop at the stop sign and crosswalk at the intersection of Durness Street at Evanwood Avenue. The resident is requesting for the installation of speed humps or other traffic calming devices along Durness Street, and this segment of Durness Street is located near California Elementary School. So for the existing conditions, the segment is 1,855 feet long, and the street width is 40 feet, and each lane is 20 feet wide in each direction. There is a 25 mile per hour posted speed limit, and the road is classified as a local road per the Caltrans California Road Systems map. Adjacent to this segment, the land is single-family residence and a school, which is California Elementary School. And at the intersection of Evanwood and Durness, there is existing stop signs with red reflective posts and all-way plaques, which were recently installed. As part of the review, we did collision history over the 3-year period between January 2021 through December 2023 using the statewide integrated traffic record system, or SWITRS. From this, we found that during the period, there were a total of 2 collisions over that 3-year period. And as well, a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on June 16th of 2023. Perfect. So based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM-UTCD, or California Manual on Uniform Traffic Control Devices, and CVC, or California Vehicle Code, it was determined that the segment of Durness Street between Sunset Avenue and California Avenue does not meet criteria within the City of West Covina's guidelines for the installation of speed humps. The section of Durness Street does not fall within a requirement of uninterrupted street length of 1,200 feet for the installation of speed humps. There's also an always stop midway along the segment Durness Street and Evanwood Avenue. And additionally, due to the layout of the neighborhood, installing speed humps may impact the emergency response time for first responders accessing the connecting streets in the case of an emergency. It's also important to note that this location along Durness Street was recently developed and improved in November of 2022. The new improvements include repaving Durness Street, installing red reflective strips and all-way plaques beneath stop signs at the intersection of Evanwood Avenue, and refreshing the crosswalk and stop pavement markings at the intersection of Durness Street at Evanwood Avenue and Durness Street at California Avenue. These improvements increase the visibility of stop signs and crosswalks at each intersection. There has also been very few collisions along this section of Durness Street in the last 3 years. Of the 2 reported collisions that occurred in the last 3-year period, only 1 collision occurred along Durness Street after the improvements were installed. Currently, the segment of Durness Street between Sunset Avenue and California Avenue does not meet the requirements for additional improvements. However, this location will be forwarded to the police department for spot speed enforcement.
Are there any discussion? No? All right, do we motion to move this one? I guess it's really not gonna go to council because we're not making any recommendations, right? So this one will be receive and file type of thing, so.
Excellent. Then I'll go ahead and move on.
Okay, next.
I'll go ahead and move on to the next, which is the traffic review of Workman Avenue alleyway near Sunset Avenue. A resident is requesting for the installation of a keep clear sign and pavement legend at the entrance/exit to the alleyway located east of the intersection of Workman Avenue and North Sunset Avenue. The resident explained that the alleyway is behind their house and expressed concern about the alleyway entrance being blocked by busy morning and evening traffic along North Sunset Avenue. For the next one. For the existing conditions along this segment, the posted speed limit along Workman Avenue is 35 miles per hour. Workman Avenue is classified as a major collector road per the Caltrans California Road Systems map. And for the widths, the alleyway is 22 feet wide, while Workman Avenue is 40 feet wide. There is no stop control at Workman Avenue in the alleyway entrance and exit. However, it should be noted that the alleyway is located approximately 115 feet of the intersection with Workman Avenue and North Sunset Avenue, which is signalized. Adjacent to this area is single-family residential, as well as Del Norte Park is north along Sunset from this section. There is existing 23 feet of red curb west of the alleyway driveway. And collision data was as well used for this review from Switters over the same 3-year period between January 2021 through December 2023. During this period, there were no relevant collisions located along Workman Avenue east of the intersection with North Sunset Avenue in the last 3 years. And a field review was conducted for this segment or this intersection on Thursday, January 4th of 2024. So based on engineering judgment, the City of West Covina traffic request guidelines and guidelines found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, it has been determined that this area along Workman Avenue at the intersection with the alleyway entrance/exit does not qualify for the installation of a keep clear sign at this time. Keep clear signage is primarily installed for major roadways and driveways that carry extensive traffic exiting the roadway/driveway. Therefore, it is not recommended to install keep clear signage at this location at this time.
Any discussion? So this is another one that we don't have any improvements. Basically, the alleyway is only 115 feet from the major intersection, so it would only allow a couple cars to queue before the alleyway would say keep clear, so we're not recommending it at this time. So this one would be another one that's receive and file. Are we in agreement on that? Okay. All right. Brian, you may go to the next one.
Perfect. We'll go ahead and jump into our third one, which is the traffic review of Double Grove Street and East Autumn Drive. The resident requested for a stop sign at the corner of Double Grove and East Autumn Drive, and the resident is requesting that an always stop be installed at the intersection. And currently, Double Grove does not have any stop control, however, East Autumn does at this intersection. So going into the existing conditions, we again did a 3-year review from January 2021 through December of 2023 on Switters, and found that there were 2 collisions within the vicinity of this intersection during that period. For the posted speed limit, East Autumn Drive and Double Grove Street are both 25 mile per hour speed limit roadways. Both roads as well are local roads per the California Road System Functional Classification Map through Caltrans. Sorry, that was a mouthful. And both streets are as well 30 feet in width with no marked center line on either street. There is on-street parking allowed along both streets on both sides of the street. And again, going through our collision history, we did look at Switters for the 3-year period between January 2021 through December 2023, and did find that there were 2 intersections within the vicinity of this intersection. And a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on Wednesday, December 27th, 2023. So traffic control devices work in concert with the basic quote-unquote rules of the road contained in traffic laws and ordinances. The California Manual of Uniform Traffic Control Devices describes applications, warrants, and placements of stop signs. And since a stop sign causes inconvenience to motorists, it should be used only where warranted. The placement of these signs is dictated by engineering judgment and based on guidelines found in the CAM UTCD and CVC. The city's criteria for determining if 2-way or always stop control is warranted is based on several factors as set by the CAM UTCD, and these factors include minimum volumes on each of the street approaches, collision investigation, speed of traffic, number of pedestrians, and potential site obstructions. And to go over these in a bit more detail, the following briefly outlines the criteria for the installation of always stop warrants. If traffic control signals are justified, if a crash problem exists as indicated by 5 or more collisions in a 12-month period, minimum volumes are met if volume entering the intersection from the major approach, total of both approaches, averages 300 vehicles per hour for any 8 hours of an average day, and the combined vehicle, pedestrian, and bicycle volumes entering the intersection from the minor street approaches averages at least 200 units per hour for the same 8 hours. As well, if the 85th percentile approach speed of the major street exceeds 40 miles per hour, the minimum volumes are 70% of the above values. Oh. So based on engineering judgment and warrants found in the CAM UTCD and CVC, it was determined that Double Grove Street at East Autumn Drive does not meet the criteria for the installation of an always stop sign at this time. This intersection is unlikely to meet requirements for the installation of an always stop sign, as there have been very few collisions in the past 3 years, and unlikeliness of minimum volume of traffic requirements being met. The installation of an always stop at the intersection of Double Grove Street and East Autumn Drive is not advisable per CAM UTCD Section 2B.07. However, the intersection of Double Grove Street and East Autumn Drive does qualify for the following recommendations, which is to install cross-traffic does not stop W4-4P plaque underneath the existing stop sign at the intersection.
Any discussion? I do notice that in the collisions, there was one in 2023, but it was hit a parked vehicle. And the one in 2021 was also hit a parked vehicle. So, and one was backing out of the driveway. So it wasn't as a result of the intersection itself. So our recommendation is to add the cross-traffic does not stop plaque, and it's a reminder that they need to stop, look before they go. Do we have a discussion on this one? Or do we want to move this one forward? This one would go to council for approval, and if they approve it, then installation. Yes?
Yeah, I think it's good.
Yes.
Okay. This one will be sent to council. All right.
Now for fourth and final item of our new traffic committee items. It'll be 843 West Blue Ash Road. And for this one, the resident is requesting for the installation of a traffic sign to help bring awareness to drivers that West Blue Ash Road is not a through street. The area of West Blue Ash Road stretches from California Avenue to a dead end at the east end of the segment, which is approximately 800 feet long and ends at a brick wall. Behind the neighborhood where West Blue Ash Road dead ends, there is a commercial area known as Vincent Plaza. The resident reported that online navigators misleadingly guide drivers through West Blue Ash Road as a route to exit Vincent Plaza, causing an increase in vehicles entering the dead-end road. For the existing conditions along this segment, West Blue Ash Road has a 25-mile-per-hour prima facie speed limit and is a local road according to the Caltrans road classification map. Both sides are single-family residential with some commercial to the east. The street is 32 feet wide with 16-foot lanes in each direction, and the segment is 810 feet long. There is on-street parking allowed on both sides of West Blue Ash Road along this segment. Collision data was obtained from the computerized collision records Switter's, and along the segment of Blue Ash Road from California Avenue to the dead end of the road was conducted over approximately 3-year period between January 2021 through December of 2023. And based on the information from Switter's, it was found that there were no collisions in the last 3 years along this segment. And a field visit was conducted and site photos were taken on Tuesday, February 6th of 2024. So based on engineering judgment and following the guidelines in the CAM, UTCD, and CVC, it was determined that West Blue Ash Road would benefit from the installation of additional signage. This segment of Blue Ash Road qualifies for the following recommendation, which is to install dead-end sign W14-1 for eastbound traveling vehicles along Blue Ash Road, approximately 100 feet west of the intersection with Sandy Hook Street per CAM UTCD Section 2C.26.
Brian, does Sandy Hook or St. Malo
Malo.
Street, do they connect to another street so they can get out?
Sandy Hook goes to Glendora.
Okay, so on this one, then the sign,
Needs
I'm
to be
thinking of the,
moved.
yeah, it needs to be moved
Correct.
to the other side of Sandy Hook, because if you can still get out, you don't want it to be, I mean, it doesn't leave them a lot of room, but there's a
Because
fence
it's such a
there,
short
right?
segment, yeah.
Yeah. So before we do an installation on this, I think we need to go out and check where it should be placed.
Yeah, I believe the resident was requesting it near the end of that cul-de-sac, because they, from my recollection, they said vehicles kind of drive through fast, to try and get to the shopping center,
Yeah,
because they
and
think
there's
it
a
goes
fence
through,
there,
and then
right?
there's a wall.
A wall.
Yeah, but I think it's probably placed to access the property line, so a lot of residents are kind of sensitive about having a sign in the front yard, and it looks like these two have a front yard
Mhm.
that is fairly large, so they may not like it, so maybe this is like the best place, but, you know,
Yeah,
I
so
think
that's why-
it would be good to talk to the residents and
Okay.
and get their
Yeah,
feedback.
just check the placement, so that when we do the installation diagram, because usually they just have these diagrams and it goes to Public Works and they go plop the sign wherever we put in there, so let's just check.
Yeah, and
to
I will also
make
check
sure.
with the resident too, because
Yeah.
you don't want to just show up with a truck.
Well, we
and-
don't want to put it in front of their window or something, you know,
Yeah.
try to put it where they're not
At
just
the
looking
curb
at it.
return probably be okay before
Or in
you
between the
pass,
houses, yeah.
yes.
Okay, so, all right, is that our only comment? We'll check in the field, the placement before it goes to council.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then, if that's the only comment, then we can go ahead and jump to item number 4, which is audience comments on items not on the agenda, which I believe you have, Jenna.
Yes, I do have. Does everybody who wanted to speak have given us their card?
Yes.
So I'm just gonna randomly call your name, so. And then at this meeting, we're not gonna have a resolution for you, but we are hearing it and we can, look into it, okay? So the first one is it Dukai?
Yeah, Kai.
Kai, okay.
Okay, yeah, I live in the 441 East Florence. And this street before was very quiet. And now, especially like Sunday, too many vehicles driving in and out
Of
to looking for the parking.
parking
Yeah,
for,
for the church.
oh, the church,
The
okay.
church, too many vehicles driving in and out. And especially sometimes I feel too many strangers, the car driving in, parking in front of my house. I don't feel, good. And the second one, now the street is not too wide. And the both sides, they parking lot of car. Sometimes the pathway very narrow. And I'm 75 years old. When I drive in, I will be careful, especially nighttime. Sometimes this church, the nighttime, they still have a party. Okay? And I think, city can have this street, make some kind, no parking sign, or no parking for church people. This is, I hope so, I
And
don't
you're
know,
on,
can you do
you're
it?
on Florence, right? Can you?
Yeah, for Florence, West Covina.
Yes, because I see a lot, all of you are on Florence.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, yeah.
we zoom
No,
into
there are more
Florence.
coming by their work. I'll
Yeah,
come on the next
yeah.
one.
Oh, okay. All right, so, oh, the Florence, the small
Yeah,
cul-de-sac.
small thing,
Florence.
yeah. How they say?
Okay, so, yeah. This is kind of an ongoing issue. So Mullender itself has permit parking.
Yes, they have.
I
I think they were louder than us.
Yeah, I think they were a lot earlier than you, or prior, you
But the only
know.
sad thing, you threw them to us, so that's the only bad thing though.
Oh, now, do we know, I don't know, something about the signs were removed and now they're replaced?
That's what
Yeah.
I was told.
Today, they did it today.
But that was
They-
on Mullender. That was on
Mullender, yes. Did they replace all the signs?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Because we live on Florence. Our problem is Florence.
Florence, you're the little cul-de-sac,
Yeah.
yes. Because we've heard from people on Lucille as well.
Mhm.
The problem right now is that the city still has the moratorium on permit parking. So it's something that we'll need to think outside the box.
Can I speak up now, or you have to wait for my card?
Yeah, okay, so you're on Florence, so you would like to have something to restrict the parking?
Yes, that's where.
Kind of like Mullender.
Permit parking.
Yeah.
Well, like
And
Mullender.
I'll show you what we're going through. I'll show you this right here, so I have pictures so I can show you.
Well, I drove by. So I know.
No, but one
I do
time it's not
know.
gonna work, though. You could send a city vehicle for 2 days, that's not gonna work. No,
Yeah.
you gotta go every day. You can go at 1 o'clock in the morning, see what we see. I had cameras all over my house already.
Okay, so we have your request, and we're gonna log that, and we will take another look at it. and
Okay.
We'll have to talk to the upper management to see how the, city is in their regards to the permit parking or parking. Is it only Saturday, Sunday?
No, it's all week, 7 days.
So the
Sometimes they-
church
yeah,
meets
7 days. You know,
7
Wednesday,
days?
Yeah.
The
Yeah, 7
church
days.
has meetings 7 days a week?
1 o'clock in the morning.
Sometimes they have a party, I think, and they rent out for the, church people, I don't know.
It's Victory Outreach, so they have, I guess, their meetings. I don't know what.
Meeting or
They
party.
live in the church as well, too, so
Yeah,
that's the hard
they live
part
in the
there.
church,
They
but
live in the church.
there's
Yeah,
nothing we could do about
That was
that.
another issue, is that the church is on county property.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and
So-
that's okay, there's nothing we can
So,
do about
yeah.
that.
There's
Yeah,
nothing- yeah, there's
that's
nothing we
okay.
can do
We're
about
just worried about our parking.
Yeah,
Our
we just
street.
protect our West Covina Street, that's all we
Right,
want.
yes, I understand.
Do you think it would be beneficial to have them send the pictures so we can?
Oh, yeah,
Show-
yeah, you
Do
can.
you wanna call my name on the card, that way I can?
Yeah, I'll have his name and then,
Yeah.
I'm still speaking up.
If you can email
Yeah, okay.
your
Well,
pictures
we'll have
so
them
that we
here,
have
so-
it, so, or give your
Yeah.
paper copies, okay. So, we've heard from Mr. Kai, so
Yes.
let's hear from Ernesto
Yeah, Zuniga.
Zuniga.
Yeah, Zuniga. Yeah. So here's the problem we're having. So I'll give you an example, because I've been here before. Last weekend, last Sunday, and we go through this all the time. Me and my wife, we were gonna go out to dinner with my daughters. We're walking outside, and it's raining. That's when it was pouring rain, okay? Look how they parked in back of me. Look at, how am I gonna get out? And we had an exchange with an officer. He did the exchange with the dispatcher from West Covina. Because I called, and I didn't disrespect her, she didn't disrespect me either, but she got mad at me and I got mad too. Because and it's not her fault, I don't blame her, she can't blame me either. I'm walking out, I'm all dressed up with my family, we're gonna go eat dinner. And I called and she says, Mrs. Zuniga, just go tell him. I go, I'm not gonna go tell him
Yeah.
because if I go tell him, I'm already mad. They're not gonna back down, I'm not gonna back down, okay? So what's gonna happen? I got more to lose, I live here, they don't. And look how they blocked me in. We go through this all the time, so.
And what day was that?
That was last Sunday?
Sunday,
Last Sunday, yeah.
Sunday.
You can ask the dispatcher, and like I said, we exchanged words, but not disrespectfully. She had gotten a 911 call. And I go, listen, I'm sorry, listen, I know I'm sorry about that. That's why I hung up when you told me you had an emergency. I hung up and I called you after. I left
Have
you
you
alone.
tried calling code enforcement?
Well,
Because they're who's doing
dispatch
the
gets a call
parking
though,
now.
but dispatch gets a call though. Every
But
time I
I
call,
think-
dispatch gets a call.
Does the city
They
have
have
a
a
separate number.
Or maybe we
Yes.
should get it.
Yeah, we need to give
And
that
look
to
at,
you.
and look at the other neighbor. That's across the street from me. Look at how they
Yeah,
parked.
they
Two
parked-
neighbors.
yeah.
Two neighbors. And that neighbor had to wait. And then this neighbor had to walk all the way to the church. I go, listen, call the police department. And she just doesn't want no problems. But
Yeah.
she walked. And this is what we go through all the time. This is not the first time. Okay, so here's, look at the other one. This was this Sunday. It just passed. Look how they're blocking. Now, they're part of the church, all three of them. But if that would have been the neighbor in the middle, look how they blocked. Look how they parked. Look at, they're all three from the church, so.
Yeah.
No, like I said, I'm not gonna lie to you guys. But if that would have been a neighbor, and that's happened to them before, because they've gone over there and tell them, oh, can you move your car? But look at the way they park. we can't be going through this all the time, though. It's frustrating, though. The guy is very nice. Listen, I've talked to the director, a little short guy. He's cool, but that's not gonna work for me. He's always, oh, I'm sorry, but no, sorry doesn't work for me. You know, unless you have a guy in driveway, stand there every
Yeah.
day. But we gotta go through that. But here's the problem, though, we came to you guys, listen, I know you gotta go, but how long are we gonna wait? The reason why we haven't come to the meeting is because you guys told us we're working on it. So that's why we haven't been here, you know, okay, you got the chance. But it's getting worse and worse, there are more and more members, you know, you see more and more members, it's growing.
Seems like it's growing.
It's growing.
growing.
And look, I got cameras. You go on my street, you'll see cameras now. So what I did now, he's probably gonna get mad at me, but I parked my RV there. Why am I gonna pay $350 a month? I could just park my RV. There's homeless people living on that street now. I called it in many times. There's tampons. My neighbor here, she exchanged words, because I exchanged words with the gentleman. I go, what are you doing? Pick up your trash. There's feces. You know, it's a couple, they sleep there. But there's nothing you guys can do because I called already. Dispatcher, police said, no, they can do that. So what do we do?
Yeah, so for that one called code enforcement, police doesn't do parking
Yeah.
enforcement now. It's moved over to code in the past
No, I
6
know, but
months,
I
and
called the
they're-
city, Brian, and they said they
they're-
can't do nothing.
They're different numbers. So for code
Yeah.
enforcement, they can if a vehicle's parked in one spot or within 100 feet within 72 hours, or for 72 hours, then they can enforce that.
And
that's
if
3
they're,
days, though.
you know,
That's-
if
that's
they're
3 days.
illegally parked, which is, you know, right
Yeah.
bumper to bumper, or blocking a driveway,
And there's
that's
feces
illegal.
and there's tampons.
Yeah,
I kid you
yeah.
not. And I exchanged words with the guy. I go, listen, don't be dirty. Okay, you're gonna sleep there, right? But and I told the girl that was with them because they live there. They live there.
In the
I go,
car.
how
They
can
live
you
in the
be
car.
dirty? You're a young lady. Pick your trash up. Throw it in the trash. We gotta pick it up all the time.
Yeah.
And then she came up and Ernie, did you see that? I go, yeah. I go, I exchanged words with her too. And we go through this all
I
the
just
time.
told her, you know, I know you guys, you know, you can sleep here. I mean, you don't have nowhere to go. I feel sorry for you. I said, but you can't be throwing your trash like that. The kids, you know.
Now there's
kids
2
walk
cars that
by
sleep there
and-
now. But
On
like you
your
said,
street,
Brian,
on
72
Florence?
Yeah,
hours, that's
on our-
3 days.
On our block.
Yeah.
And not only that, he leaves the car on 24/7. The car's on because the air conditioner. And you can hear it,
Or
Will, you can hear
or
it.
because it's cold, so they have their.
The heater on,
But if we had those signs, then we wouldn't be going through that.
you know, and that's all we want. 72 hours not gonna cut it. That's 3 days.
Is it, Brian, is it an opportunity to get the church to meet with us and?
We've done
You've
that.
done that
We've
already?
also met with the county.
and no.
So we
no
have to
results?
exhaust all our avenues,
Uh-huh.
so then we can move forward on other types of things.
So that's LA County, we're West Covina, we're
Yes.
paying taxes in
Oh, I
West
know,
Covina.
but we had to see if LA County would do something about the church, since it's on their property.
But what can they do?
So they supposedly looked into their planning department and see if they had,
There's always
know.
deputies there too. And besides you guys, there's always deputies there too. A while back, they jumped a guy right there in the church. This homeless guy was passing by, they jumped him. Homeless guy was saying things, but he's homeless, he's not, and he got jumped right there by them, by them.
Is that why the police department was there the other day, West Covina?
Not
Because
sure.
they've told us, don't call West Covina, you need to call the sheriff.
Sheriff.
So the sheriff, you know, that's what we do. But now, West Covina was there the other day we went for an hour walk and they were in there with them, talking to them. But I'm like,
probably
wait a minute, I thought
depends
that.
who's
That's
closest,
what I
I
have a
think.
question about that. So does West Covina pay, we pay taxes for West Covina?
Yes.
So, do we use the police officers for other cities? Because they went there for a meeting somewhere at that church for over an hour.
So for,
Four West Covina police officers were there at that church for over 4 hours, 1 hour.
so
Four of them.
when they're saying call, that would be the non-emergency line, because they're correct, because that's for non-emergencies if you're logging a
Yeah.
general complaint. 911's a different story.
Yeah,
That's when we go to the nearest one, and the nearest police department or agency
Okay, but
will
that
respond.
That was not a 911 call.
That was a
They
non-emergency. I
came,
don't
They
think,
shook hands.
We're like,
they
okay,
went
so
in
we
like
can't
if they were
call
doing a
them.
training program or
we
something.
can't
then
call
I'm-
West Covina, but then
So-
they're there with them. So see, we
So
we
it's
don't know,
like,
is this
are they gonna help
kind of
the
conflict of
church?
interest
Yeah.
there? I
Yeah.
think.
I don't,
PD's
well,
not
we
here.
don't know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we don't know the answer to that.
So-
I
just
would
I mean,
think-
maybe they were
So that
having a
was
meeting
last
about
week before
gangs,
the-
who knows?
they were
Could
there
be,
for
you
a
know, I don't
whole-
know.
Or even
That was during
homeless
the
people.
weekday.
Yeah, problems that they're,
Using
maybe
their
both
parking
cities
lot.
are having. I don't know, but we're like,
It's hard. You've seen us here, it's been 2 years now.
Yeah,
You know,
'cause-
It's long we've been to how many
Yeah,
meetings?
if
It
you
is
can
hard
also
because-
in the short term, I know we are working on it, but unfortunately, we're government, and it takes, there's a process, you know?
Okay, so how did Mullinger get their sign though? How did they get?
I
their
know,
sign?
yes, we know what you
They
want.
don't say-
They,
Not your fault,
yes.
but-
they had those prior to the moratorium being placed, so.
Yeah.
The moratorium's what's causing the hold. It's not
Yeah.
that we're not necessarily looking at it, it's that there was a moratorium, which essentially is a stop for all
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
While it's being reviewed as part of street sweeping,
yeah.
kind of all of it's being reviewed. And in terms of that, I know I spoke to you guys previously.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
street sweeping is near the tail end of it. It was, if I'm not mistaken, approved by council. I think it needs to get finalized by council, but, so that one is moving forward.
Now-
Are they gonna put street sweeping for all the streets, or?
I believe that's what was
Yeah.
approved. There, certain days and certain times, I wanna say council has adjusted it to a 3-hour window, but yes, and like I said, that is going to go for final approval with council.
Because that would be good too, because I mean, the street, poor the guy, the street
That would help.
sweeper.
Clean up.
I'll
in
tell
that
you what, I
street.
wanna help you, the street sweeper guy. I talked to him a couple of times. He needs new blades.
Oh,
They got
I'll
40
tell you what,
vehicles.
And I told him last time, I go, sir, you're wasting your time, sir. You made a mess of my, no, and I was nice to him. I go, sir, you need new blades. Look at, you're making a mess. You didn't even clean nothing. Because every time he passes by, he just makes a mess. And nothing, you know,
I mean, that's his job.
I'm
He
just
has
trying to help him. I'm
He
trying to
has to
help
go
him.
through there,
I go,
you
he
know,
just
but.
needs blades, that's it.
Yeah, any like that, you could always let us know, so that way we
Yeah.
can let the contract, cause we wanna make sure it is doing
So,
its
so
job.
on something like this, okay, this is where I'm confused. No, I don't know if the police department called me or it was the city enforcement who called me at nighttime. They go, okay, sir, there's nothing we can do if he blocks you that way. I thought you had to park 3 feet away from you. And he goes, there's nothing we can do. I go, nothing you can do? He's blocking me, yeah, nothing we can do. So think about it. So that means when a police officer saw when I block him in, I even wanted to do that. That means he can't tell me nothing.
yeah,
I
no,
don't know if
there
that's
is
enough.
a,
Think about it.
There
They
is
blocked
a
me in. Look at, I
space.
mean, look at, I can't even move a little bit.
Yeah.
And that's why I
and
thought I go.
especially if they're blocking someone's driveway, that's
Well, the
not-
dispatcher told me they
vehicle
can't do
code.
nothing.
And
Yeah.
there was a situation a few months ago where it was a car chase that ended on Florence, on our cul-de-sac.
little cul-de-sac.
And I had it on video because it records, you know, the cameras record, and one of the police officers said, what, does all West Covina park? It was on a Sunday. It was on a Sunday, and he commented, what, does West Covina park all on this street? They couldn't get in. They had to, you know, I don't know if you guys heard about that. It was just, you know,
It was on
it
TV.
was a car chase, so.
It's just hard. You guys
Luckily,
have to fight for
they
us.
were able to arrest the guy, but I'm like, oh my gosh.
We
an
want you guys to
emergency-
push this to the council or put us in the agenda of city council, because we can't do this. Come on, we can't every
Well,
day.
after the meeting, if you will call Brian, he can give you the phone number to code enforcement,
Okay.
who is now taking care of the parking. So, and then we'll also talk to the head of code enforcement and see, you know, what options there are in the meantime. Now, here's something to consider with permit parking, is that if you go by the letter, for permit parking, it means for those residents that don't have parking at your house. So unfortunately, you guys are kind of in that situation that you all have a driveway and you have
Yeah.
parking. So then if you went strictly by what the municipal code says, then you wouldn't be allowed permit parking. So you're kind of in a situation where, yes, you are affected by this church, which is a little different, but if you go by the letter of the permit parking in the municipal code, you wouldn't qualify.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
No,
So
but
it's
I'd
just-
rather take that.
I know, yes.
I'll
Yeah.
take that over that.
Because we will be able to park at least one car, right? If we got no parking, because we have some of us have tiny little driveways. So, for instance, us is my husband, me and my daughter, and I park right in front of my house. That's the only parking spot that I would have.
Right, I
'Cause
mean,
we
if
have-
it's to the letter.
Yeah, to the letter,
They
yeah.
have to
Yeah.
consider, if you have a
Yeah.
garage,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah.
supposed to be parking in
Yeah.
your garage and not,
Yeah.
most of us have
But
a
see,
lot of
that's
junk in
parking,
our
that,
garage, you know, so.
my thing is like, we're paying for, you know, we're paying taxes.
Yes.
We live
Why
there.
can't we park, you know, they can park there, they don't pay taxes. This is West Covina. Well, I've had to have a party, I had to use a hall because we didn't have parking. And I'm like, why do I have to pay for a hall when we, you know, it was nice before, you know, we had a party, we could have people park there, no problem, but now it's like, wait a minute, why am I have to pay for a hall? You
Are you
know?
Anna?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm all-
And,
Okay,
because
we'll
this
go
has
to
been
you
happening,
then.
because
Okay.
I turned in this in May 2022.
Yeah,
That's like, it's gonna be 2 years now, so
Oh,
we've been going through
I
this for
know.
2 years.
yes.
So we're getting
We're
tired, we're
waiting to
very
see,
tired.
you know, because it, like Brian said, we have the whole parking plethora at West Covina is potentially changing because of the street sweeping, and it might go to overnight or whatever, you know. They haven't made decisions on that, so.
And like I've informed you guys before as well, our municipal code ordinance for this section is old. A lot of things have changed now that aren't really applicable. For example, like Jana said, to the letter of the code, if you have a driveway and garage, that's 2 parking spaces you have to do in that. But now with the housing density the state needs, as well as just general storage and whatnot, it's a lot of the garages are getting converted to ADUs, which are no longer parking. So that's why we're taking it to council as well for a more holistic update in order to look at it with more modern lens. And council might say, no, keep it the way it is, or council might say, go this direction, but the thing is, we don't know what council is going to do. And like I said, that's why the moratorium's in place, because we don't want to necessarily do the review, put the sign up, and then if it goes to council within a year or so, be like, oh, sorry, and then take it right back down.
Or you put it up at least for now, because we're waiting 2 years, so maybe it'll take 3 years before the council gets a hold
So
of it.
so we're not gonna get, nothing, as of right now, nothing?
So for parking restrictions, like I said, that's the reason the moratorium's in hold, and not only is it just the flip-flop, because then on our side, we don't want residents to get used to it and then essentially get mad at the flip-flop. That's why we wanna have kind of a clear direction from, council by reviewing it. And like I know I notified you guys before, the first step was street sweeping, which that is at the tail end, luckily. So hopefully we'll be able to take a look at that once street sweeping is done.
How
Like
long
I
is
s-
that gonna be? How long?
I believe it went to council in October, November. So right now, we're working with, organizing the signage, and, they're working, not myself, but forces above me are working on the contract negotiation portion. I'm not sure how long that timeline takes exactly, but then we have to post all the signage throughout the city, so that is going to take some time, because we are a large city. I think our goal is to have it done in a couple of months, but I'm not too positive on that in terms of street sweeping.
So there's nothing else we could do? This is as far as we can go. We can't go to a city manager and talk to?
City council meeting? Council
City
meeting?
council? Should we go to the city council meeting? Or nothing's gonna,
In the interim, is there any way that we can reapproach the church with maybe a member from admin to carry a little bit
Yeah, I
more
mean, we
weight?
can
Just in the
give it a
interim.
shot, and we can also talk to city manager and see, because it is extenuating circumstances, so, and you have been waiting, so
well, we
can
don't
give
wanna
that
have
a shot.
altercations with them, you know, we don't
No,
want
I
that.
understand,
And then
yeah.
the police department, we don't be calling them.
Yeah.
Well, that's why I said, if you can call code enforcement, and then we can also talk to them and let them know your situation, so if they do get a call, they know what they're going out to look at
Yeah,
least in that respect, and then,
yeah, because the fact that she said, oh, we can't do nothing about it.
well, that's the police department, and I guess,
Yeah.
you know, they have bigger. That's why code enforcement is now doing parking, so
Do
it's
you,
the best.
do they work on the weekends?
Yes.
Yeah.
They do?
Uh-huh. Yeah.
And they have plenty of parking on Francisquito, but I think their thing is that it's a busy street, Francisquito, and ours is it's a small little street and it's more secure, but then it's not working for us. It's not working
Okay.
for us at all.
All right,
have
we
a
have one
question.
more person on this issue. So Mario Saba,
Yeah, I'll just.
I'm sorry, I don't pronounce your name right.
Samovar, not a problem.
Okay,
Just hearing on the moratorium, when did that moratorium take place? When did
Early
that start?
2022.
yeah, 2022,
Really?
something like that.
Since 2022, we haven't been able to do?
Permit parking.
Permit parking specifically.
That was it. Thank you.
You have a question?
Yeah, I have a question. Why the Merlander? They
Well,
have the.
Because they came in before the moratorium.
Because when were those signs put up? Probably 2020, 2021? or
Yeah.
Prior?
Yeah.
And we should have done it then, but, I mean, no, but we weren't
We
having
never
issues.
gonna corner
The
ours.
church, no, but the church wasn't there. The
Correct,
church
yeah.
wasn't
Yeah,
there.
I think
And the,
it
and the
was-
thing
yeah,
is
it
that
was
the
a different
church,
church was
the
there at
church,
the time.
it's not even, I mean, it's church, but it's not a church, because what church has activities almost every day? In the morning, at night, Sundays for sure, no, I'm sorry, Wednesdays for sure. You pass by, they're there till 10 o'clock at night. I'm like,
They tell
why
midnight.
are they there till 10 o'clock at night? You know, and then people leave, and then I see neighbors, you know, pulling out, parking their cars, but they have to wait till 10 o'clock. You know, it's like,
All right, well, thank you all.
Can I say
Okay.
something?
Yeah, do you have a card? Can you fill out a card real
No,
quick?
no. No, I just wondered if you can let me say
Oh.
something.
Okay,
Yep. I live right at the corner, Flores and Molitor.
yes.
I wanna tell you, I wanna say thank you guys for put a sign in Molitor. It was relief for me, cause I live facing to the church,
No, it is.
facing to the church. It was right on time, because they see the signs and they know a little bit about the signs and get a ticket and stuff like that. But we need a bigger sign like the one they put this morning on their side, because they got a little sign like this, like 12 for 10 for 6 or 8, just too small. And they need a bigger sign, because they're still parking, you don't care, they're still parking. It's not my fault, it's not, I mean, actually longer they're not parking on my side, on my property, because they need a permit or whatever, I come on and tell them, hey, gotta move out of here, because you get the sign, respect the signs. That's all I can do. I said, if you understand, you park over here, police gonna pass by, but you got a ticket. I mean,
Brian, the new sign that you put up.
This
a
is
big
every
one.
day. That is every day. But thanks for, you put a sign on Mullender first, and I'll be most thanks to you guys for, if you put a sign on the corner on the side. Because there's a lot of people crossing every day,
Right,
a
now,
lot of people,
this may be,
dangerous.
how do you all feel about letting them park on the frontage of the church? on
that was
Olive?
those people were the ones that took that.
I don't know.
They
Because
didn't-
that's permit parking
Yeah.
too, but I mean, it would affect this gentleman.
Yeah.
No, here's the thing though.
No, there's other people that
And-
I don't think they would be very happy.
No, here's the thing though, it doesn't matter, because if you were to let them.
There's like
all you're gonna
4
do is
cars
now they have more
they could
parking,
park.
now they have more parking, because they're not gonna say, okay, let us park here, and we won't park over there. No, that's not gonna happen.
Not gonna
All it's gonna do, they're just gonna fill up
Because
everything.
I think it's
Okay.
growing. I think
Oh,
from
definitely
when they
growing.
first started, I
Yeah.
think it's
Something
growing. We
celebrating.
see more people, and now they're having funerals too, so
Wedding
it's
parties.
gonna be, you know, it
They-
gets
they
very
get the
busy.
Rock and roll music.
Okay, all right.
But, yeah.
All right, well,
Who do I
thank
leave
you.
these to?
Yeah, give those to
Brian?
Brian, yes, and we appreciate you coming and hearing, yes.
Just one comment.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Brian.
A while back, this was in Santa Monica when we were doing a motorcycle event, but I was able to go to the city and get no parking, almost like when they do for construction and stuff like that.
Temporary, yeah.
Is that, speaking loopholes here, is
Yeah.
that an avenue that they might, entertain, for doing a construction on a Sunday?
Yeah, I mean,
where
that's
there
why I
might be no
said we're gonna
parking?
have to think of other alternatives, so,
Okay.
but we have to talk to code enforcement and everything else, but, we've been doing our due diligence on our end. I know it's taking a while, but because there is a moratorium, if we put signs out for you, then the guy next door would be like, well, what about my street, Then it snowballs,
Yeah, but we're
I
talking
know,
about our
yes.
street, so let them come
I
on
know,
their street.
yeah.
Like a gentleman.
They can
He's
come
talking- I don't
here.
even know him, but I'm glad he's here though, but he's talking about his street. I don't know what street he's talking about, but I'm glad he's here though.
I know.
Oh, are you really? Oh, you see, I don't even know him. Thank you. I didn't know him. Oh, really? Really?
And just to let you know, there was
Oh,
already,
you just-
I'm hearing what you're saying.
Oh, okay, okay.
Thank you.
just to
Thank
let you
you.
know, our neighbor, he got in altercation with one of them not too long ago, and it was bad.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? One of these days, somebody's gonna blow up, because they were trying to park, and like he says, they were trying to, we're gonna block
Squeeze
him in. And he went out there, and they started, saying stuff to each
Exchanging words.
other. He says, I'm not gonna be able to get out, and so there was already an altercation.
Okay.
And
Yeah, I was thinking we can also look at they probably have conditional use permit. I know it's the county. But they probably had to show how many parking spots for how many people who are gathering, and maybe between reaching out to the church. And I know it's not our jurisdiction, but maybe we can go the amicable route and
Yeah, and
revisit with the church and revisit with someone from the county in terms of their conditional use permit. I know I'm being
Yeah,
probably
no,
pie
I-
in the sky, but I'm just throwing it out
We
there.
met with the county on that, and it was kind of like,
And we asked the exact question.
The conditional use permit.
Yeah, the county won't do nothing.
Yeah.
There's a guy cooking carnitas, he kills a pig in the sidewalk and they don't do nothing. Con Hacienda, yeah, he kills a pig right there, yeah, you know.
oh, my goodness.
And I asked him, you don't get in trouble? Oh, no, the counties don't do nothing to us.
Ugh.
Yeah, the pig right there.
That's right.
And it's true though, on Hacienda, it's true.
All right,
Okay,
well,
thank
thank you
you,
so much.
thank you.
so what will we hear anything, or
Yeah, just,
are we gonna hear anything anytime soon, like
just keep, just shoot us an email, you have our email, because I see them coming in, so just give us
Are you guys
another
talking to the
email.
council for us? I mean,
And then we will, like I said, you can go to council, it's always your,
Yeah,
your prerogative, so.
okay.
Thank you.
Okay,
thank you.
all right, thank you.
Brian, can you throw that number of the corner person? And can you let them know as well? That's fine.